Hello, everybody. My name is Jim, and this is honestly just a discussion around reference materials and which ones authors like to use when writing stories. Obviously, it depends on the story, but I guess I could go ahead and say that I am working on a novel of my own, and I got to a point in one of the chapters where I need to describe how something was built. I need to say the wood came from this tree so that people have a vision in their head of what the table looked like or what it was made from. And I don't want to use a tree that has, you know, a thin trunk. I don't want to use a tree that's not used to build furniture, especially not something as sturdy as a table. I want something that has dark wood. And the story is set in a tropical climate. And so I have this book called Rainforest Trees of Samoa, a guide to the common lowland and foothill forest trees of the Samoan archipelago, by W. Arthur Whistler. When I was originally looking for plants, Google just did not do it. It didn't do it. I couldn't find what I needed, and so I looked into this book, and I knew that this would be a good place to look because Samoa obviously is a tropical climate. Obviously, I also could have made up a tree, but unless it's like, I don't know, an alien world, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not clever enough or creative enough to create a tree or a plant, but I feel like there are just so many that even if I tried to make one up, I would describe one that already exists anyway. And it just seems silly to me not to call a rose a rose. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm using reference material to find existing tropical plants, so that at least, even if the reader doesn't know exactly what that plant is, they would at least be able to Google it or research it themselves and get a clear representation of what that plant looks like instead of completely having to imagine it from some fake off the wall description. But anyway, I am curious to hear from other authors and learn about some of the reference material that they use. I know that this is a very specific book for my purposes, but what I love about it is that each of the plants have their scientific name, and they also have a Samoan name and an English name if it's available. And I love that because a lot of times whenever I would whenever I would Google it, you would have the scientific names, but you really wouldn't have that extra descriptor to help define in the reader's mind what that plant actually was and what it looked like. And so, with the images and with all the definitions and the uses of each of these plants, I can honestly say I haven't read through the whole thing, but as I was doing my research, I was able to pick out some plants that I could use for additional meaning. Plants that were used for medicine, plants that are sturdy or trees that are sturdy, fruits, poisons. Those are always fun. So yeah, really, this is just out of curiosity, a little video to ask other authors like, what reference material are you using to write your books? No one really talks about where they go to find the things that they need. And I know that a lot of it again can be found on the internet, but this was one of those situations where I just couldn't find what I needed. And once I got this book, I feel like a whole world opened up to me in such an organized way, because usually when you look on the internet there's like a list of 10 or like 5 prominent plants in insert location here. And of course, I don't want to go and add a tree from the Serengeti into a tropical climate that gets rain all the time. You know what I mean? So yeah, again, for like the 50th time, just let me know what your reference material is, how you use it. What specific things are you looking for? And has it actually helped you? Because, there could be some authors out there that are writing similar things to you and would like to know what's out there. Or just let me know what has been a pain to find, like in this case, Google of all things, Google could not help. So I had to buy a book just to help me research tropical plants. So yeah, what have you just struggled with in your research process? Which books have you used? Which sites have you gone to? What are you specifically trying to find? Just let me know in the comments. I would like to have a little discussion. And that's it. I need to get back to writing. I have the book in my hand right now. I'm searching through a tree to make a table. So yeah, just leave some comments down below and let me know. And if you happen to be looking for this specific book, I have linked to the Goodreads page in my description below. You can click it and purchase it from the retailer of your choice. But otherwise, I've been Jim. You've been great. Happy reading and happy researching.